Hey guys, what is up? The Gaming Gadget here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about The Flash Season 4, Episode number 12. Now, one of the things we're going to talk about today is that now it's certain in my mind that DeVoe wants everyone to know that Barry is the Flash. I talked about how it may be a possibility in my last couple videos, but now it's almost certain to me. After we saw that the Warden had captured footage that Barry was a Flash, and after the whole trial of the Flash thing, with Cecile wanting Barry to admit that he's a Flash, and DeVoe telling Barry that there's a 12% chance that he would admit that he was. And like the team was saying in this episode over and over again, there is no coincidences when it comes to DeVoe. So obviously, for whatever reason, DeVoe wants Barry to say that he's the Flash. Or at least somehow get the word out there that he is. Why though? I'm guessing so that when Barry does get out of prison, he has even more obstacles of people trying to attack him and knowing what his weaknesses are and trying to stop him through even more ways that they can now that they know that Barry's the Flash. Thus distracting Barry and the team from the real threat being DeVoe. It gives him more time to work out his plans undisturbed, which if you've watched my last video is I'm thinking that DeVoe eventually wants to control all the human race to make his sort of perfect world. Obviously something of that measure would take a lot of time to accomplish, and it could very easily be ruined by someone such as Barry Allen being the Flash. Something that none of the villains up to this point have done so far is trying to get the team distracted. We had Reverse Flash, who very early on in the season admitted that he was the Reverse Flash. And then we had Zoom, who was getting them involved in all of his Earth 2 stuff. And then we had Savitar, who was constantly reminding them about him being trapped in the Speedforce, and how about Iris is destined to die by the hands of him. DeVoe, though, has gone out of his way to make all these metahumans in order to distract the Flash from DeVoe's main threat of eventually controlling humanity, if my theory does prove to be correct. So it made perfect sense that DeVoe would then want Barry to admit to being the Flash, because now not only does he have a whole bunch of angry metahumans to deal with, but he has the public to deal with, he has the press to deal with. He has a whole bunch more stuff on his plate now that everyone knows that he's the Flash, and these distractions will never stop coming. Obviously, his plan isn't going to work out in that we know that Reverse Flash, being from the future, didn't know that Barry was the Flash until recently before the night he murdered his mom, as we were told in Season 1. So in whatever way the word may get out, Team Flash may somehow try to disprove it like they're doing in Arrow this season, or somehow the word might just get out, or DeVoe might use it as a threat against Barry in the future, whatever it may be. But it is certain to me that DeVoe wants the world to know that Barry is the Flash, to some degree or another. Anyway, so guys, tell me what you think about that theory down below. I will try to respond to as many of you guys as possible. But moving on to the next topic, we saw that the Warden was selling metahumans to Amunet at the end of this episode after he had captured Barry. Now, if you see my last videos, you know that I myself think that the Warden is a metahuman. And obviously, being the Warden, he gets a lot of metahumans at the prison. Now, what if Amunet had captured him at one point, and she was going to kill him, take his powers, whatever she usually does, when he struck a deal with her? If she kept him alive, he would give her any metahumans that he found, such as Barry Allen. And as we saw from the promo, Deacon, and probably a lot of the other metahumans which the team has sent with him into prison. So as we saw in the promo, when Barry escapes prison with all these metahumans, there might be some kind of fallout with Amunet and the Warden, which causes them to fight, with the Warden possibly using his meta abilities if he does turn out to be a metahuman, and Amunet using hers. It would even farther DeVoe's plan, as getting Barry even more distracted in trying to stop them too from destroying the whole city, depending on what the Warden's powers may be. And if the Warden does happen to be working with DeVoe as well, knowing that nothing with DeVoe is ever a coincidence, they may have scheduled this escape to go on at this moment in time to create an even bigger distraction while he possibly does the biggest part of his plan, which could be building some sort of thing in order to actually be able to achieve the result of mind controlling everyone. But either way, I'm pretty sure that the Warden is a metahuman. Now, something I forgot to talk to you guys in the last video was that there is a girl who was writing the Speedforce language. She obviously spoke English, but how did she know how to write this Speedforce language? Another question is, did she know Cisco and Ralph? I mean, if she does have some sort of a connection with Barry when he was in the Speedforce, she would obviously recognize them too, as Cisco being his friend, and back then Ralph being the guy who he got fired. Could she possibly be one of the metahumans who was on the bus, and somehow the dark matter got into her and gave her some of Barry's knowledge from the Speedforce. Or perhaps when Barry got cured and he lost all of that memory of the Speedforce, all of his thoughts and knowledge from there were transferred over to her. And then her possibly thinking that she was Barry handed the money to Ralph and Cisco. The last part was a little bit of a stretch though, seeing how it has been a couple months now since Barry got out of Speedforce. But she could think that she's still trapped in the Speedforce for all we know. Anyways, so guys, I'm really not sure on who she could be. Leave your theories down below in the comments. I'm really interested to find out what you guys think about her. And again, I'll try to spawn as many of you guys as possible. Real briefly though, as we talked about, Barry is escaping prison with all those prisoners in the next episode. And I'm guessing that all havoc is going to break loose. So it will certainly be fun to see that happening in the next episode. Anyways, so guys, like I said, leave all of your theories down below or try to spawn to as many of you guys as possible. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, and of course, Gadget on.